So you've grown it in addition to organically, also through acquisition.
Yes.
So what are the lessons you've learned in making so many acquisitions that you could perhaps share with other entrepreneurs?
We have to get really good at integration. When we acquire companies, we do a ton of planning up front, so we know exactly what we're going to do with those companies, on what timetable. We care a lot about the people and the culture because it has to fit in with our company. And there are many times where we've bought a company where the CEO of that company or the senior leadership team, we knew ahead of time wasn't going to be a great fit for HomeAway. And before we even bought the company, we have those conversations, so we know ahead of time, and the entrepreneur who's selling us the business knows ahead of time exactly what's going to happen. I'd say in most of the cases, the person who built the original company ends up leaving within 6 months, and that's something that we pre-negotiate up front, unless there's somebody who really does have a special fit with our business, or somebody that we think can work for somebody else. I mean, most entrepreneurs aren't very good at working for other entrepreneurs, and I think that's something we realized pretty quickly too. And when you're buying a business from somebody, don't assume that the person who started it, no matter what they say, is going to stay on, because entrepreneurs like to work for themselves, and so you have to plan for that kind of a transition.
Is there something that you did, like in your first few acquisitions, that you've learned from that process that you've made it more efficient now, or that you don't do anymore because of the learning curve?
I think the biggest thing is that we now make changes much, much quicker. So in the old days, we would buy companies and we'd say, well, let's just leave them alone for a while. Let's let the people get settled in. We'll get to understand the technology. They'll get to know us. And then over time, we'll, sort of migrate things. We're a little quicker about it now. We bought, one of our most recent acquisitions was a company in Brazil. And within months, we just, moved it onto the HomeAway platform. We used to wait a year or two before we do those kinds of things. So I think it's one of those lessons that if you're going to take a business and try to make it part of your company, just do it. Take the pain, get it over with, plan for it up front, let people understand that, rather than just, sitting back and almost letting the problem get worse if you don't.